Final Fantasy IV's release in 1991 brought the series to a new platform, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Originally known in North America as Final Fantasy II, this Super Nintendo classic was actually a modified version of the Japanese Final Fantasy IV. The story follows the Dark Knight Cecil, commander of the Red Wings, pride of the Kingdom of Baron's airship fleet. Cecil begins to doubt the orders handed down by his king, but before he can act on these doubts, he is ordered to depart once more, this time with his dear friend Kain. Final Fantasy IV saw the introduction of the Active Time Battle, or ATB system, that would be used in many of the titles to follow. In the ATB system, time flows continuously during battle, with enemy and character actions requiring a certain amount of time to execute. Since the clock ticks even while deciding a character's actions or casting a spell, timing attacks and using magic to alter time's flow is critical. The ATB system was a revolutionary way to keep battles exciting and involving, while also adding strategic depth. Final Fantasy IV had its share of unique vehicles, from hovercrafts to skim over the desert sands, to airships that traveled the skies in the dark caverns of the underworld. A legendary airship known as the Lunar Whale allowed players to travel the gulfs of space and even explore the moon. Even chocobos came in multiple varieties, the yellow earthbound bird being joined by its flying black kin to carry players along their way. Cid made his appearance as an engineer for the Kingdom of Baron. A longtime friend of Cecil, Cid comes to the aid of players at several key points throughout the game, allowing them the use of his airship and even briefly joining the party. Though not released in North America for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, players had the opportunity to experience Final Fantasy V in Final Fantasy Anthology for the PlayStation. An unknown force is draining the power of the four crystals, disrupting the balance of nature. The future of the planet is uncertain until the arrival of a lone hero. The story of Final Fantasy V revolves around a young traveler named Bartz and the people he meets along his journey. Final Fantasy V used the same active time battle system introduced in Final Fantasy IV. In addition, this game also revived the job system that originated in Final Fantasy III. However, this time each job had special abilities that could be acquired by spending ability points obtained after defeating enemies. These abilities could be used in conjunction with other jobs, allowing players to fully customize their characters. In Final Fantasy V, players could travel by boat, airship, even wyvern, with each of these being tied directly into the storyline. The ever-popular Cid made his appearance with his grandson Mid, as the two assist Bartz in modifying his airship. And of course, what would a Final Fantasy game be without chocobos? The lovable yellow steed appeared in this installment as Bart's faithful companion and played a role as important as any party member. However, one of the most impressive characters from Final Fantasy V would have to be Gilgamesh. While a ruthless enemy, his amiable character and quirky persona has led him to become one of the most popular side characters in the Final Fantasy series. Finally, who could forget the cute, cuddly Moogles? Since their introduction in the Final Fantasy series, these adorable little animals have charmed players across the world. Many North American players first experienced Final Fantasy VI as Final Fantasy III when it was released in October of 1994. The numbers were finally set straight in 1999 with the release of Final Fantasy Anthology for the PlayStation. In Final Fantasy VI, the Gestalt Empire holds dominion over the world. Locke, a member of a resistance group, saves Terra, a woman used by the Empire as an instrument of war. A great many allies join the party during Final Fantasy VI, each with his own personality and unique set of abilities, allowing the player a great deal of freedom when assembling a battle team. Players could further customize their characters by equipping them with magicite or accessories to unlock new spells and abilities. Chocobos, ships, and airships again came to the player's aid as they traversed the vast world of Final Fantasy VI. Airships served double duty, playing an important role in the backstory of Setzer, one of the characters who joins the party along the way. But it was more than airships and chocobos that defined Final Fantasy VI. Terra's Magitech armor, the Phantom Train, and the majestic Figaro Castle gave the game its own unique flavor. Cid appeared as a scientist at Gestalt Empire's Magitech facility. Here he raised Celis, a knight who rebelled against the Empire's evil ways. Though he doesn't provide the party with an airship, his appearance is heartwarming and memorable. Of course, no one who's played Final Fantasy VI can forget the Opera House. Here, players took part in what was to become one of the defining moments of Final Fantasy.